Hey! Just so you know, only rich people are allowed to come to my wedding. I didn't bother reserving a seat for you.
What are you talking about? You were the one who invited me to your wedding in the very first place.
Well, I invited all the people from our co-ed basketball days, but you might as well not bother leaving your house.
So you're rescinding my invitation? But why?
Well, you're just a poor farmer. Even after you graduated college, you just went back to farming. What was that all about?
And that's why I'm not invited?
That's right. If you show up, then you'll just make the whole place stink like manure. I did invite you, but I've changed my mind, so just go home.
I don't stink. What are you even talking about? I always take a shower after I finish my work in the morning.
You mean you actually did farm work before coming to my wedding?
Do you have a problem with farm work? My family's been farming for generations, and I'm just the next in line to do it.
I just can't believe that you would do something so filthy on the day of my wedding. You are just a poor farmer, and you'll never be anything more.
Well, I guess I just never knew that you thought of me that way.
Well, I knew what you were from the very start. That's why I threw you out of the club when I had the chance.
Wow, I literally only came to help you celebrate your wedding, and this is how you treat me? I wish you had just treated me like this from the start. I would have known not to show up at all.
You're just a dumb farmer who doesn't know anything anyways. I can't even believe that I went to school with someone as stupid and poor as you.
I'm proud of who I am. Everyone knows that I love what I do, and I don't see what your problem with it is.
Oh, I remember how much you talked about farming back when we were at school. You might not have noticed, but every time you opened your mouth, people's eyes would just glaze over.
You're still the same person you were back then. You only care about chasing after pretty boys with money.
Well, duh! Why do you think I went to university in the first place? For all the rich, pretty boys who go there, of course. There isn't any point wasting time on men who aren't even on the same level as me.
Is that why you joined co-ed basketball in the first place?
Oh, wow. Maybe you're not as stupid as I thought. I joined because Alan was the captain and his father owned a famous marketing firm. All the others were the sons or daughters of other wealthy entrepreneurs or had some amazing jobs lined up.
So you weren't after the people, just their family's wealth?
Well, in a word, yes. That is why I started dating Alan, and now we're getting married, and soon I'll be the wife of a CEO under the GeoCrop umbrella.
You mean you've been planning this ever since you two started dating at school?
I think it's important for people to think about what they want to do with their futures.
That is horrible. I've never thought about how to use people to get what I want.
I really didn't expect a sweat and manure-drenched little hick like you to get what I was talking about anyways. Anyways, Alan's parent company has decided that they want to move him to head one of their overseas branches. So soon my husband and I will be starting a new life abroad with a bright, bright future ahead of us.
You sound pretty confident that everything is going the way that you want.
Of course it will. My plan is perfect. It always has been. The stinky farmer wedding crasher is the only mark on an otherwise perfectly executed plan. So just turn around and go home already.
My name is Ricky, and I'm 32 years old. I'm currently in charge of running and maintaining my family farm. I studied agricultural management at a rather prestigious university. The farm was actually about to be sold with no one interested in taking over it from my grandfather. I didn't want to allow that to happen, so I took it on and turned the fate of the farm around. I remember that I was totally hooked on the idea of owning it after my first harvest. Although it is true that I spend most of my time working in the sun and getting covered in mud, sometimes the smell of manure sticks to my clothes, but I still wouldn't change a thing. Missy was a girl on my co-ed basketball team that I happened to be in college with. We would go to the beach and play around. But I remember that all Missy would ever do was complain about the sand, and she would never play out of fear of getting sweaty. I always wondered why she even bothered showing up. Well, I guess I have my answer now. Today is Missy's wedding, and she invited the rest of the gang from our basketball days. I was really looking forward to catching up with everyone. But in the end, I was insulted and ended up going home instead. It was only after that Missy really took things too far.
Hey, what the heck? Why didn't you give me any kind of wedding present?
What are you talking about?
I mean, you made it all the way to the venue. The least you could have done is leave your present for me there.
But you didn't even let me in.
So what? That is still my name that you wrote on the tag for the present, right? So you already bought something for me.
Well, yes, I did buy you a gift, but I decided to go back and return it while I was driving home.
What is your deal? You bought a gift for someone and returned it without even giving it to them?
When I wasn't allowed in your wedding, yes. Is that weird?
Of course it is. What is the matter with you? I was getting married today and you didn't even give me a present.
Well, had you let me into the venue, I would have gladly given you your wedding present. But you told me that you didn't even bother saving a seat for me.
I already told you that was because I didn't want a smelly old farmer like you stinking up the place.
Yeah, you did say that. Then I just did as you said. I turned around and went home. I don't really get why you're complaining about this to me now.
You're useless. Are you really such an ignorant little hillbilly that you need me to spell this out for you? Just give me my frickin' present already. If you already returned it, then I'll take cash. You can send me $500.
What? You want me to give you $500? I'm sure that no one from the club spent that much on you.
Well, that's because they're all cheap. Everyone should have spent at least $500 on me.
You're crazy. Everyone went to celebrate your special day.
Well, if they really wanted to help celebrate, they should have given me money.
Missy, are you having money problems? I thought that you said Alan was about to take over a company overseas or something.
That's right, he is. But if I don't get what other people owe me, then I'm still in the red.
I'm sure it's really not that bad.
Well, you don't even know what you're talking about. Just give me $500.
I'm sorry, but this is not going to happen. Please, don't ask me again.
How dare you? Do you even realize how honored you should be? The wife of a CEO is lowering herself to talk to you?
You didn't have to contact me. I never asked you to message me in the first place.
Huh. Well, how about you just leave me and the rest of our club members alone?
I really don't know why you feel the need to talk to me this way. I was looking forward so much to getting to catch up with everyone today, you know?
Well, how about I make it so that none of the others will ever want to talk to you again?
What are you talking about? How would you even do something like that? I seriously have no idea what you're even saying. Hello? Missy, are you there? We weren't finished yet.
Hello, everyone. I just wanted to thank you all so much for coming to my wedding yesterday. It meant the world to us.
Thank you so much for inviting us, Missy. It was amazing, and you were so beautiful. Your dress was amazing.
Oh, well, thank you so much. Actually, I got that same dress from a seamstress that does clothing for some of the biggest names in Hollywood. It wasn't cheap either. It cost me about $5,000.
Wow, that's amazing. And the food was to die for.
Oh, the food? Did you like it? Yeah, we just hired a starred Michelin chef to come in and cater for us.
Wow, well, the lobster was just fantastic. I don't think I've ever eaten anything as good.
Yes, he had the lobster shipped to us straight from Canada that morning, actually. It was as fresh as it could be.
That really is just incredible. You really went all out, huh?
That's right. The vegetables were all organic and actually shipped straight from the farm that morning as well.
Wow. You had fresh produce shipped all the way to the venue on the day of the wedding? It really showed. It was so delicious.
Of course we did. And have you ever tried having your produce shipped directly to you? It can be a bit pricey, but when you never let yourself have anything less than the best, it really is the only way to go. I just hope my wedding was as memorable for you all as it was for me. I wanted to make sure that we only had the best of everything there, so that there would be no regrets at the end of the day.
But Missy, that must have cost a fortune.
Oh, it wasn't cheap, that's for sure. I spent about $65,000, all things told.
Wait, you what? I figured something like that would have only been about $45K, no?
Well, someone seems to know her stuff.
Well, it's just that my fiancé and I are looking around for our wedding as well, and I happen to have some of the prices in my head.
Yes, perhaps if we were poor farmers or something, then we might have settled around that price. But given that we're all so rich, I knew that I had to pull out all the stops.
Oh, what do you mean by that exactly?
I mean, we all went to the same school. Don't we all come from money? I thought that was the case.
Well, I can't speak for the others, but my dad just had a normal desk job.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Your family was quite average compared to the rest of ours.
I guess you could say that.
And I'm sure that your quaint little fiancé isn't all that special either.
Well, let's say he does his own thing.
But aren't you embarrassed to be marrying such a boring guy when you come from such a prestigious school?
What? No, why would I be?
I mean, you could probably have any man you wanted with your pedigree. Why bother for another office drone like your father when you could have anyone?
I'm sorry, but I really don't think of people in those terms.
Well, then again, I suppose an office worker is better than a farmer.
What do you mean by that?
I'm talking about Ricky, that farmer who used to be in our club. Do you remember him?
I don't really see what's so funny about that. But that reminds me, where was Ricky? I didn't see him there. I tried asking him why he didn't show, but he didn't really give me a clear answer.
He wasn't there because he's a filthy farmer.
What do you mean?
I mean that he's a poor and filthy man, and he didn't deserve to be at something as grand as my wedding.
Missy, you're not serious, are you?
Of course I am. He would have stunk up the whole place with the stench of manure, so I told him he wasn't allowed to come.
But that's so mean of you.
I told him that poor people need not bother showing up because I was trying to have a classy event. If I were you, I would stay away from him. His stench might rub off on you, you know.
Missy, please. Stop all this. Besides, this is a group chat. Everyone can see these messages. I see that you added Ricky in this chat. I'm sure he's reading these.
I don't care if he sees them. I already said as much to him directly. He's poor, and his opinions don't matter. In fact, I only made this group chat to warn everyone about Ricky.
Warn them about Ricky how?
Attention, everyone! I have a big announcement to make. I just wanted everyone to know that even though Ricky went to school with us, the fact is that him and his family are all just a bunch of poor, lowly farmers.
Okay, Missy, I've had just about enough of this.
Well. If it isn't poor old MacDonald come to speak up for the honor of his little farm.
I was fine when you were just making fun of me privately, but to make a whole group chat and try to humiliate me in front of other people is just taking it too far.
Well, I was just tired of watching you trick people into thinking you were one of us, when the harsh reality is that you're just a poor hick.
What is wrong with you? And not that it even matters, but I'm not even poor.
Oh, please, you're a farmer. What else could you be but poor?
Missy, do you really not know who Ricky is?
Of course I know. He's the son of a poor farmer who will never be anything but a poor farmer himself.
No. Ricky is the son of the head of the GeoCorp group.
Wait, what do you mean?
You should know. Your husband works at one of GeoCorp's subsidiaries, right?
But I didn't... Wait, what?
It's the truth. But Ricky didn't want to follow in his father's footsteps and take over the company. So instead, he focused on managing his grandfather's farm.
That's right. I want to try and make a more sustainable world one day, but I wanted to get some real experience on a farm before that.
You gave up a cushy corporate job for this stupid freaking environment?
He is trying to figure out how to make the planet a more livable place. How do you not know who Ricky is? You should really read the news now and then.
That's right. GeoCorp has its irons in many fires, but never looked into agricultural production. I think it's important that future people know how to grow their own food, and I'm researching proper ways to spread that knowledge.
I really think it's amazing what you're doing, Ricky, and so important too. I heard that you really started investing in farm-to-house delivery of produce to cut down on waste and support local farms.
Wait, so then the service I used to cater my wedding was actually sending my produce from Ricky's farm?
Probably, but you said yourself that it really made all the difference in quality. And without a middleman buying the products from the farms to sell to the consumers, more of the profits will go directly to the farmers themselves. Ricky was the first one to ever come up with this concept. No one had ever thought about it before for some reason.
That's right. My dad told me that he was okay with me not taking over from him, as long as I directed my efforts into trying to tackle a problem that was facing humanity.
And you have been working really hard on it. But I hear that direct deliveries from farms are starting to take off across the world.
Well, I certainly hope so after how much effort I put into thinking up wholesale. Actually, it was thanks to all that work that my dad approached me again asking me to take over from him. So the company might be seeing some big changes.
You mean that your dad saw how well you did and still wants you to take over from him? That's amazing news! Congratulations!
Well, it's really all thanks to you, Petra.
What are you talking about? I haven't even done anything.
But if you weren't here for me for this whole journey, then I'm not sure that I would have been able to come this far.
Oh, baby. That makes me so happy to hear you say that. I'm always happy to be there for you.
Baby? Just what the heck is that supposed to mean?
Well, Petra and I are engaged.
Wait, what?
That's right. And we promised to invite everyone as soon as we pick a date. I guess the cat is out of the bag now, huh?
I can't believe this! I thought you said that you were marrying some office worker guy. But now you're telling me that you're engaged to marry the heir of the Geo Group?
I guess I am, yeah.
No, this can't be happening. I won't allow it.
What do you mean by that?
Ricky, I want you to marry me.
Whoa, Missy, what are you saying? You literally just married Alan.
Well, even if I stick with him, it'll only ever be the head of a subsidiary. But if I marry Ricky, then I can be the wife to the owner of it all. Obviously, Ricky's the better choice.
But what about Alan? Don't you even feel bad for saying that?
Please, the whole reason I went to her school was to try and find the richest guy there to marry. And now that I've found someone even better, I just have to move on to better things.
Missy, stop this. You know that Ricky and I are already engaged. You can't just catch men like they're Pokemon.
Oh, yes, I can. And I plan on catching me a shiny Ricky.
Okay, this is just getting ridiculous. Missy, you and I are never gonna get married, okay?
But why not? What does Petra have that I don't? I'm clearly the better woman.
Not in my eyes. I love Petra.
But she's just an ugly little commoner. There are millions of girls like her.
Hey, Missy, I am literally in this chat and can see all that you're writing. If that's really how you feel, then I don't think I want to be friends with you anymore.
Well, then go. Who needs you, huh? You could disappear and I wouldn't even notice.
Well, okay, if that is really what you want.
I already said it, so just go already.
Missy, again, you do know that this is a group chat, right? Everyone else can see all of what we're saying to each other here.
Wait, hold on.
It's not just you, Petra, and I, it's the rest of the club too. You do remember inviting all of them, don't you? Including Alan?
No, this isn't right.
I wonder what he's gonna think when he reads this.
Oh my god! What am I gonna do?
Actually, I don't need to wonder, he's already seen it. Oh, poor guy. Luckily, he's got his new post coming up in Europe to take his mind off of you. I told him he's totally free to move over there without you, of course.
You told him what now? Why would you tell him that? Of all the arrogant things you could have done?
Alan's my friend too. I just want what's best for him.
Alan, baby, don't listen to Ricky. This was all just a big joke. I love you. Please, baby, pick up the phone.
Alan had messaged me right before the wedding wondering where I was. I'm not sure why, but I made up an excuse at first to try and cover for Missy's biases. But once she decided to parade them in front of everyone, well, needless to say, the divorce came soon after. As for the $65,000 price tag, given that Missy made it much more expensive than it actually needed to be, she was forced to pay back the difference. Unfortunately for Missy, she had just quit her job before getting married and quickly needed to find a new source of income. With no one wanting to hire her, she was forced to pick up a few part-time jobs to pay back what she owed. I was at the office for some training with my dad the other day, and I saw someone who looked just like her, pushing a janitor's cart heading into the woman's bathroom with a mop. She was wearing a face mask, so I couldn't quite tell for sure, but, well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Petra and I are going to be getting married soon. We decided to use my farm as the venue, and we're going to be shin deep in mud with boots on when we get married. And even though my life is probably going to get a lot busier from here on out, I'm glad that I'll always have Petra by my side. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.